dropped out already. I've tried as much as possible to convince a whole lot of them to keep it up, looking at how coding is, but it's not meant for everyone. And I'm trying as much as possible to convince others to keep it up, though they might feel overwhelmed already, like it's too difficult, or they are facing one challenge or the other. So let's try as much as possible not to let go. Some persons will make it up to the finals, I'm very sure. And let's keep it up and let's continue. If you miss any class, try as much as possible to go through the YouTube channel. That's why I opened that channel. It was not really to get views, but just for you to go back there when you feel like, and then it's always available for you to watch. It's mainly for you guys. So just try, reference it. If you do not understand after watching that particular video, you don't understand a concept, you can always chat me up and we'll always find a way out to make things happen. Okay, and regarding the assignment is supposed to be submitted once we are through with our total project. It's supposed to be when we are through with our total project. That means once I explain a whole lot of concepts in which you do not understand, and that even reminds me, well done for trying. I saw some beautiful shapes in the group chat the other day. And please, if you do not know how to do all those things, please do not feel left out. You are not left out in any way. As far as you follow what we are doing, you can actually get there. Some persons was like, blood of Jesus, what is all this? What is going on? So please just follow us closely. I'll try as much as possible to explain why we are doing it and how we can actually make it happen. So first of all, I'll have to go straight to the assignment and try to show you what is expected of you in the assignment, and I will go straight to the class. Please make sure that get your hands dirty tonight. You'll be doing some codings with yourself. You try as much as possible. Once you code, if you make errors, you correct it yourself. All right, so let me share my screen soon and navigate through the assignment. Okay. Okay. Okay, if you look at, I don't know if you can see my screen. Please, can you see my screen and can you hear me?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, good. All right, so what we want, this is your first project and it's just mainly on application of what we have done in functions, and simply just for you to complete the main concept is to complete the code with respect to do statement. This to do statement,
Yes, you can.
I did it deliberately. So anywhere you see to do, that is what you are going to do for this particular assignment. For example, this hashtag is import the module total. This is not a to-do statement. But what we are going to do is to import the total model itself by, maybe you can, how we used to import our total model with reference to the previous class. And we are not using this Colab for this coding. We are using your PyCharm. So anything that I say we should do here, take it to type the same thing, do the same thing on your PyCharm. Just do the same thing. For example, you want to do import this comment should be there. Import the module total. This one should be there, but to do what? To import the total model itself. You don't need to put this hashtag to do anymore. Then the next line you're going to do, definitely, I will not have to tell you that you have to involve your main loop, your total.main loop, the particular main loop that has to be inside your, once we started our class, let me go to my PyCharm and let's see, like total.main loop, this has to come to in between your import total t is equals to total.total in open and close parentheses. Definitely it has to be inside the total.main loop, or you have errors running it and it might cause you a whole lot of stress when you're trying to make it work for you. So make sure that you always put this turtle.main loop at the end. Everything should be inside this particular turtle.main loop. It's very, very important. So once we do that, we keep on moving. And the next thing was to create a turtle object and name it as T. We did this in the last class, exactly what we did here. T is equals to turtle.turtle, open and close parentheses. So exactly, then I've started making some movements for you by myself, what we have been doing so far. So T.FD means we are moving a distance, and that distance is 100 pixel. You move like this. This is turn left. T.LT to turn left, but in 90 degrees. The next thing you do is to move the turtle 300 pixel forward. All these things are what you're supposed to do. So I don't know if anyone gets it. If you don't understand the whole concept of the assignment, please let me know before we start tonight's class. All these things, anywhere you see hashtag to do, that is what, anything they tell you to do it. Like now, move forward and turn left. For I in range, what is something is supposed to be inside this particular parenthesis. So put it there, put something there. So those are the things that we need in the assignment. We get to square and we get to all this. Don't worry about this particular is screen underscore reset. We'll show you what it means and how we can navigate you through. So the main concept is for you to, once we finish our project, you can actually start attempting your assignment. Some persons some persons are through already with the assignment. I really appreciate that. I don't know how they got to find a way out of regarding this, but I believe there's always Google, and we can always find a way to get it done. Okay, and without wasting much of our time, I think if you do not have any questions regarding the assignment, please let me know. Some persons were also saying that they cannot get access to the assignment. First of all, the assignment is in the IPYNB format, so you can decide to use your phone. If you don't want to, you can download the IPYNB viewer on your Google Play Store. So what you do is you'll be going through the assignment on your phone and looking at it. It's just a viewer, just to view that IPYNB file. Once you're seeing the to do, you type it on your PyCharm. You just be doing like you have two screens using your phone. So I can always put it in the chat box. So I can just say IP IPYNB read viewer, just viewer. Can always check it out on Google Play Store. It's there. There are two of them that are actually wonderful. Okay, so just try as much as possible to get that, view the assignment, and use it to code on your PyCharm. So that is it for the assignment. If you don't understand, please let me know so that I know how to navigate it through to you. Any questions regarding the assignment again? Okay. I think some persons had issues with the assignment. Mr. Udwa, do you get it now? Mr. Udwa, can you hear me? Can anyone hear me? Hey, God of mercy.
Yes. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, because I was like, Miss. Okay.
I can hear you. I can.
Okay, Miss Udwa. Okay, it's okay. Okay, without wasting much of your time, let's go to the business of tonight. And please mute yourself. Please mute yourself wherever you are. Mute yourself. I wish I could actually make other people okay. All right, so in the previous class, we did some things for ourselves, and we looked at how we can actually create a square using this particular for loop, and this was for I in range 4, because we look at it has to move 4 times. The loop has to move 4 times, and that in that particular range, we are putting it in 4. And we now say once it gets into this particular loop, I want it to turn right. I want it to turn right 4 times. I want it to move forward 4 times, and it must be 100 pixels. And this particular turn right should be 90 degrees. This was just what Nena was trying to confuse us in the group chat. So I went back to check it out and see what really happened in the code. So let's run it and see what will happen. She was asking, so you see, it keeps on moving. It keeps on moving downwards. Because why is it so? Because you told your code to move turn right and in a 90 degrees direction, and that's why it was going down. So if you're turning right, it means normally the initial position of your turtle is facing your right. So immediately you tell it to turn right, it's going to, and that turn right is 90 degrees, going to come down. And once it comes down, it has to move to a particular kind of direction, which is a 100 pixel. And once it does that, it's going to now turn left. Immediately it turns left, it will also turn right immediately. We're looking at the range, because immediately it turns 90 degrees left. Definitely since it's a loop, it keeps on repeating itself. So immediately it wants to turn 90 degrees to the left, this turn dot right will come up again, and it will change the direction of that particular turn left that you wanted to do. If you look at it very well critically here, see what it's doing. It keeps on moving, and it tries to turn to the other side. The loop which you have done keeps turning it back to right, and it repeats the same thing again and again. So that's what made that confusion. Let me even make it smaller. Maybe let's use 30 pixels or 30. Let's see how it goes. So you can see what is going on right now. So it has moved 4 times, but in this process of moving back 4 times, it has affected the turn left and turn right keeps on conflicting each other. That's why it's on a straight path. That's what happened to you, Nena, at that particular point. So let's go straight, and the next thing we're going to do is let's try to create a square. Let's try to create a square. You can actually comment this out. Remember, I told you, how do you comment? You just decide to control /, and this automatically goes out for you. But we'll definitely need this one I'm just going to copy Control C. And please, can you see my screen well, or should I increase the font size?
Please increase it.
Okay. Okay, I've done that already. So everything is going to be inside this turtle.main loop. So first of all, let's create a square. And in this particular, why am I creating a square again? Is because I want to introduce the concept of a particular kind of parameter. I'm going to create a function that actually does what? That actually creates a square, and we are going to use what we call the conditional kind of statement in our parameter, and we are going to see how it will work for us. So normally, I'm also going to introduce the docstring so that when we are solving an assignment, we will understand the whole concept of it. So first of all, we are going to create. It's going to take the parameter, the total object. The parameters will take the total object. It will take the distance in the movement of distance in pixels, and it will also take the boolean kind of parameter, which is either true. A boolean kind of condition is either true or false. So let's just get started. So dev definitely is going to be square. So what are we going to put here? We're definitely going to put the t object which we did before. Then the distance, which is going to move. Then also this particular one is more of like a boolean kind of statement. If we are going to reset the screen, for example, when we are trying to run some things, or we are trying to create objects, or we're trying to create shapes, there are certain times we want it to, maybe we want it to override the other maybe distance or the other dimension in which you want to create your object. So let's try and say, okay, maybe is underscore, maybe want to is underscore, maybe reset, want to use screen reset, so we can actually put it up there. So okay, so what are we going to do? Let's introduce, I'm trying to make you understand the whole concept of the assignment. So we're trying to introduce a doc string here, and in this doc string we want to tell people what this particular square, this particular function, this square function is actually going to do. Definitely we know what it's supposed to do already, but I just want to be very precise, and let's get it done at this particular time. So what are we going to do? Definitely this is going to draw. So it draws what? It draws a square. So it draws a square. What does it do? It draws it. You can add other things. You can add, maybe like say, you can decide to say the parameters that is going to take, well, I told you already, is going to be what? Is going to be your t, that's your total, and is the t, is going to also take the distance, which is d, and this distance must be in an integer kind of way, so it's d, and the next one is going to be a bool statement. A bool statement is either it is true, a boolean, we normally call it bool. What is always known, the full meaning is boolean, is either is true or false. So we have a bool kind of parameter, which is bool, it's what is what? Reset. So what do we want to, whether we want to reset our screen or we do not want to reset our screen, it's going to return something. Something is going to return, and what is going to return is definitely going to be the shape of what we want to do. So it's going to be the shape. And once we are done with that, if at this particular point we want to call out the help or the document of this particular function, this is what will show, and it will not take part in our code. It's only when you call it specifically to tell us what it actually does. So what we are going to do now, we can actually decide to say, okay, let's start our work for here, and let's actually draw the square. So Control V, remember that we had something like this already for I in range this. So definitely we take this one up here. So it must be on the same block of this particular. So this one is this. Sorry. Okay. So what are we doing? We are creating a function that actually does what? That actually draws a square. So this is what we did in the former class. For I in range 4, it means that you want it to go 4 times, and it should take this particular parameters. This particular variables, or this particular function, or this particular method it wants to do to draw this particular square. For example, this is going to turn right, and it's going to turn right in a 90 degrees, and it's going to move in 30 pixels. But at this particular point, we are definitely going to change the direction, the d here, because we are going to impute the parameter here already. This d is going to be, so we are going to reference it as what? We are going to reference it as what? As d. We are going to reference it as d. For those ones that are already getting the whole concept, I want other people to also get to understand the whole idea of the drawing itself. So once you bring out this d is just going to, once you call out the function, it's going to impute. You can see it's already highlighted here, but we have not brought out the is reset. So what we are supposed to have done right now could have been to define another function which is reset, which the main thing of that particular function is to do what? To reset the screen. So what are we going to do outside this particular function? We are going to reference this is reset, and say, okay, this is what I want you to do. So let's see how we get it done. Let's see how we make it happen. So we define another function up, and what that particular function is only to reset the screen. So anytime we want to call it out, we are going to make it put it as false, as true. If you don't want it, we are going to put it as false. So definitely we put it as def as a function. We put to open and close parentheses, and definitely now what does it do? It's simply to do what total dot reset. You can see it's already showing you options here, so you can use this dot reset. Please, if at any point you do not understand what is going on, you can always, I'm not seeing your hands up, you can actually raise or mute yourself and say you do not understand a concept. So this particular function is definitely, its own work is to reset the screen, and that is why we want to bring it out in this particular boolean statement, that is underscore reset, which we are going to see as we move on. So what do we do? We go back to inside this particular function, in which is the drawing of the square, and we now say, if this particular function is true, this is what I want you to do. I want you to reset the screen. So inside this part, before we even call it out for it to draw, let us reset this screen for it to work. So the next one we're going to do is now say, if we are going to reset, if this thing reset screen is true, if what is inside this particular place is true, if is underscore reset is actually true, what I want you to do is to do what? Reset the screen, or the total graphics and this thing interface. So if is this, when we are now using the if statement. Don't worry, this is more of like a conditional kind of something. Like if a particular thing is here, if it's not here, do this. Okay. So if reset equals now true. Why am I using equals to? This is more of like a comparison kind of operator. We are trying to like say, if please, who is that? Who is, please mute yourself wherever you are, mute yourself. Mr. Sunday, your hand is raised. I'm just coming to see. Now you could have unmuted yourself and say something.
Okay, I'm just looking at the function. You put reset there, like the one you defined outside. Is it is reset or reset function? So I want to know.
What did you say?
The function that you name now, reset, is it is reset because it's reset you gave us in the other one, or reset?
Okay, thank you very much. The reset function here is totally different. It's totally different from this particular one where we just want to remember when we did functions and we referred other functions inside a particular function.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember something like that.
Okay, I remember, but I'm just looking at the name that is different. Okay, no problem. Continue, sir.
Wait, this function here is another function on its own. Dot do what? Reset. See what is going to happen. So immediately I call out this. Don't worry, just see what I want to do in this particular if statement. So if whatever we have inside this particular parameter, this last parameter is underscore reset for the function square, the square function, anything that we put here, if it's true, this is what I want you to do. If it's not true, this is what I want you to do. Okay, so if is underscore reset, which is the parameter which we are going to get here, is equals true. This is what I want you to do, guys. This is what I want you to do. What we are going to do is to do what? Call the reset function here, which is reset open and close parentheses. So what are we going to do? Reset open and close parentheses. So anytime that this particular is underscore reset is given to be true, I want you to reset the screen, which is the reset function here. And the main purpose of the reset function is simply to do what? To reset the total screen, which we are going to see practically here. Okay, Mr. Sunday, can you get it now?
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Kemini. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Mark.
Yeah, the question Mr. Sunday asked is also what I was also confused about, because when I was looking at the function name and the elements in that square function definition,
Okay.
they seems to be confusing because I didn't see any relationship between two of them. They seems to
Okay.
be standalone functions.
Okay, yes. First of all, it is a standalone function, but you are referencing it as a parametric kind of function. Like you are referencing this particular square function. Inside this square function, you are bringing in this particular condition for a function that was called reset before. For example, now look at this particular one I just did now. I define a square function t comma d is underscore reset. Is underscore reset is also a parameter on its own. So what happened is that anytime in this particular function, anytime we say that this particular place is true, anytime we change it to true, it means that we should call this function of reset.
That's a reset function.
Yes,
Okay.
inside this particular square function to do what? To total.reset the total screen.
Okay.
Once it is true, which we are going to see very soon.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Okay. I'm getting it. Thanks.
Okay. All right. All right. You're welcome.
What actually confused me before was, is like that is reset. I was thinking maybe it need to be correspond with that other function.
No. This one is more of a parameter. Please, guys, don't get it. It's the parameter we want to give a condition to. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So let's try and run this and see if it's going to work for us. Let's try and run this and see if it's going to work for us. Let's see if it's going to work. If it do not work, we'll find a way out and make it work for us. That's the beauty of coding. Sorry. So let's call it out. Let's call out the square. Let's say the square itself, we want to call it out. So in the parameter we had t. We already defined our objects to be t. So that one is more of a fixed kind of thing for now until we get advanced, which you are going to see as well. So t is already defined. Now, the distance in which we want to give now is something that we need to put by ourselves. So what are we going to put? Let's use the normal, let's use 200 for now. Let's use 200. And the next parameter we're going to put, let's say we want to use true, because we want it to reset the screen after it has finished its a particular kind of work or something like that. So let's see true. As I'm writing this my particular kind of tree, you can see I started with a capital later. Started with a capital later and ended, then the other ones are smaller cases. So this is how you write Boolean kind of functions in Python. Two errors, something is wrong somewhere. Okay, let's see. If once we get the error, we'll find a way to fix it. Okay. All right, so let's try. Ways are running. So, okay. What is going on? So guys, what do you think is going on right now?
Its reset seems not to be defined.
The reset seems not to be defined. What are we going to do about that?
I'm just thinking if that has to do with the question Mr. Sonny asked earlier.
That's what I'm trying to look at here right now. It's not supposed to have affected this.
Linking it to the function name.
Okay.
I don't know, but that's just my thoughts.
Okay, let's try and see how it. Let's see how it's. So let's see how it, if it's going to be like that, because it definitely, it's not supposed to take part in this particular concept. So if Okay. Guys, let's see how we can make this out. It's part of programming. Let's see how we can get it right. Mr. Sunday.
Yeah, yes, sir, I'm here. I'm just looking at it. I think it's supposed not to affect it. So I don't know. I'm just looking at it as well now.
Okay.
And in this case, the errors move from the is reset now to the reset and the D not defined.
And D not defined. Okay. So let's try and get it. Let's see. Name is set is not defined. So let's go back to our code. Please, guys, this is more of like a real life kind of situation. We are getting hung up already. How can we solve this? Okay. Okay, let me look at my code. Because definitely I know it's not supposed to affect this at all.
Sorry, can we look at the last line? The last line.
Okay. Guys, the big boys in the building, let's find a way to get this right. Anybody is raising a hand? How can we solve this, guys? Let's see how it goes. Anybody raising his or her hand? We have gotten to an error side. What should we do? Okay, so let me find a way to navigate it myself. So we have defined a function here. Dev is underscore reset, and this is what we want to do is total.reset. Okay. And we define a square t on the t comma d comma this is reset. Okay, you draw a square. So is underscore reset equals true, and we call the reset. So let's change this to is underscore reset. Okay. There is one error here.
That's the D. The D is not defined. I think that's what it's.
The D is not defined.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you could bring the function for the reset inside the function for the the main function itself for the square, I think.
Okay.
Because it seems that the definition of the reset function is outside the function for the square. I'm not sure which should run first.
Okay, so let me do something like this. Looking at what I have here, let me do something like this. So I'm looking at the way Python operates. If it was more of like my Colab will not give me this error. I don't know why it's behaving this way for PyCharm, and which is very, very important. So let's see how we can. One of the best ways to navigate things as a programmer is to find a way out when it comes to things like this. So let's still name this. It's supposed to have been reset. I'm very sure of this. So let's see how we can navigate this through.
Yeah, okay. I'm thinking those two could come to line 31 and 32.
Yes, that's what I want to do right now. So this should be okay.
Okay.
Then we come here.
But do we need to put since we say for if statement, do we need S? Or it doesn't need?
Do we need what?
The X statement when we have if or it's not necessary in that case.
If is reset screen, that means if this.
Do we need to do S or is okay like that?
Which S are you talking about?
Since we are using if statement, do we need to complete the S part of it or is not necessary?
Which S? The X.
Like
else, if and else.
Okay, if. Okay. Definitely, we don't need it at this particular point because it's just a direct kind of programming. I don't know. Maybe I should just try this in Colab. It should work for me.
Again, sir.
Okay.
Check for that reset. If it's the correct thing to do, like reset screen. If that is the correct command.
Guy, I've seen a problem right now. Guys, look at this code for guys, I can see it right here. Look at the block right now. Look at the block right now, guys. Look at the block. Debugging is part of. Look at the block, the square block. Look at it here. It's supposed to be on the same line. Look at where the if is. Look at where the if statement is.
So that means you should backspace the reset.
It should be a tab here.
Uh-huh.
Can you see what's going on here?
Are you gonna throw away your bread? Expecting it to come back to you, but you are not the only one.
So you can see what happened here, guys. Debugging is part of our programming. Look at what happened here. If you can see, this for I in range 4 was not in the same block. Look at it was. I don't know if you get it. It was here. It was definitely here, which was not what we wanted. I don't know if you guys get me.
Yeah.
Look at what happened here. Look at what happened when I was trying to copy and paste. I think that was, if I just coded it directly, it could have worked for us well. So what happened? Please, who is that? Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. Thank you. Father Lord. So look, okay. This is what happened. So if you run this code now, it should work for us well. But what happened was that this 4, this was where it was. It was outside. It was not supposed to be. Your remember when I said your scope is supposed to be inside this particular place here, and so we moved it to this particular. So what was wrong with our code was definitely. Let me run it and see how it's going to work for us first, so that we'll know how we can actually navigate it through here. So let's see here. So you can see it's working. Nothing has changed. I remember when I told you, like, the resets, everything is still the same. The naming and everything is the same. I started with they defined a function here, reset total.reset screen. So the only problem we had was because this for I in range 4 was not in the same block with the function here, guys. Hello?
Yeah,
We are with you, sir. We are here.
We are with you.
We are here. We can
Do
hear
you
you.
understand? Do you understand the error now? Everybody tends to have errors like this. So the only error we had at this particular point was definitely the the block that was not on the same on a scope of what we have been looking for. So it happens like that in programming. You can actually get into an error like that. If you are not careful, you waste your time. You stay and stay and stay. So the only issue we had was simply because we moved this 4 to another location, and which everything was following it up here. So I want us to see a practical example. So this was what happened. This 4 was definitely not, it was definitely not here. And which other one did we know? So you can see the def reset is still the same reset we did. And we called it upon. If it is true, this is what I want you to do. It worked perfectly for us. Okay. So you can see what was the issue here. Even till now, I might even try to like what is really not making it not to work. Okay. So I don't know if you understand what just happened. Now, can I explain? Just explain what happened, because debugging is part of coding at some point. Please, I want us to know. I've gotten to an error tonight. It's part of coding. So let's see how far. What do you think happened here?
This when you run this one, will it run like this one presently now?
Yes, it actually ran. So maybe some, what do they call it? Your reset, this one was correct. This line 30 is also correct. This other one is also correct. I don't know what happened as it is right now. I don't know what must have happened, because I was very sure I left this, or maybe there was a particular, maybe I left this one here. Because
But I don't think it's from this place.
Okay.
Like this if statement. Yes, I think it was the one that was back a little then.
Okay, what did we do here that was bad? Because I'm trying to.
The if statement was a little bit backward.
Yes, exactly. It was a little bit back, like here, right? Yes. Yes, that was. So these kind of things can cause you an error for a while. You might even get up confusing yourself at this part. So I think that this was the error there at that particular time. It's showing an error right now, guys.
Can I ask a question?
Okay, you can ask a question, sir.
Yeah, why didn't it show indentation error?
Why didn't it show indentation error? Because sometimes at PyCharm, it's what error did it even show yourself?
It just said that its reset was not defined. Now, because I ran it,
it says the reset was not, yes, it wasn't defined.
Yeah, I brought the reset function under
Yes.
the main square function itself, and it ran for me. That's why I was saying if you bring it down, and I didn't have that indentation problem.
Okay, but right now it's on top here, yet it's still running for us.
Okay, so position does not matter.
The position does not matter. Yeah, the position does not matter at this particular point, because normally you're supposed to have defined your reset already and keep it like, try to reference your function and it works for you.
Okay.
Yes. So sometimes it could happen this way. I believe it was mainly of how we could actually, how this if was actually, how it was actually at a particular, it was directly under, I can remember now, this if was directly under this def. That was why, which is not supposed to be so. Okay?
Okay, all right.
All right. So let's try something else. Let's try something else. Let's define another, maybe let's use false. Let's use which this thing should we use? We can actually use another number.
300.
Let's use 300. And we can actually say, we don't want our screen to be, let's say we don't want to clean. Let's just use false and let's see what it will give us. So let's see. Run. So you can see what is going on right now. Let's see, because this other one has resetted. Now let's go back to this and change this to false and let's see what we have. So we are changing this 200 to false. Let's run it again. So guys, what do you think is wrong right now?
I think the reset function has been called because the boolean value is true.
Okay, so let's change it back. I'm looking at the time actually. Okay, now we have changed it to this, and it has run for us. What do you think is going on right now, guys? What do you think is going on right now? Looking at this statement that we did here, please, we are getting advanced. We need to know what our code is doing. When we get to errors like this, we need to know what is going on. If is underscore reset is equals true, that means if this one is true, what is going on here? Anyone has an idea? Oh, good. Nobody's answering.
Sorry, can you ask the question again? I'm trying to understand what's going on.
So the question is, why did it not run for the first time? And now this particular one, it showed the screen, but it was empty. Now I've changed it to true, and I put it as the other one is true, this other one is false. Why has it run?
According to the if statement you used, if the value of the is reset is true, then it resets immediately. I think so.
Okay. Okay, that was a nice one, because once you decide to call it out, this is a true or false statement. So anytime it is true, definitely is going to reset your screen.
Yeah, before it even runs the next line of, it just resets.
Okay, let's try this one. You can see what happened here.
Yeah.
So this particular one has not done anything to it. So let's see. You see, this one did for this one was true. This is true. This is false. So I don't know if you understand what is going on right now. I wanted us to see this concept of reset.
I guess you changed the number. You changed the line number there. After it was formerly 300, now it was 30.
Okay.
Yes. So you know when the perfect square ran, then a small box came up too. So I guess it's that 30. That's why the reset brought back that 30. What would I call it? I know it just reset it back to the small box, the small square. Yeah. So that's what I observed now when you changed the number.
Okay, well done. Well done. Exactly what I was actually expecting. Exactly what I was expecting. So let's try and run this again. Let's see what it will. Maybe I need more suggestions. I need more suggestions from everyone. So let's try it again. Okay, stop main. I need to stop main. This code is still running somewhere. Okay, so let's run. You can see what just happened now. Let's change this to false. Okay. Let's run this again. Guys, please just pay attention what is going to happen. Okay, this is where it stopped at this particular point. What do you think is the issue right now? Please, I want us to understand the whole concept of is false and is the concept of true and not true. Okay.
Hello.
I think what I'll just do right now is just for me to. This is what I want to do right now. I want us to make it. I want us to really understand this whole concept of the screen it resets and coming back again. So let me do something like this. Let me do something like this. Let me come out of this particular loop. Okay. Okay, this. Okay. Okay, let's say for I in range, I want us to understand this concept of is true and is not true. So for I in range, let's say we want it to print certain intervals, like the range of between 1 and 10. Definitely 11 is not going to be involved in our code. Remember when we tried running this before in our range, when we're trying to do range. So we call the square the square function on its own. Okay, the square, and we have the parameters. We have the t, comma. Let's use for I. So this, remember when I told you that I is an arbitrary kind of variable, and this arbitrary kind of variable takes a particular kind of parameter, kind of value on its own, which is in between the range of 1 and 11, which is 10 is not included. So let's try and times each of them with what? Let's say we want to get a, hello?
Is this session recorded?
We are with you.
Okay.
Session recorded.
Yes.
Whether the session is recorded?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Definitely it is. So let's call the reset here before we even start anything here. We want it to reset the other ones up here. Let's see what it will give us. This code is still running somewhere. Okay. Stop main. Okay. So you can see now what is going on right now. You can see definitely it's not, there's supposed to be a reset for I in range this. What is going on here? I'm trying to get something and it's not really working for me on PyCharm. I don't really know what is going on. There's something I want to do here and it's not working for me. So let me comment this out. Control forward. And let's see how we can make this work for us. Stop. Something is wrong somewhere. We need to make this one work for us right now. So, oh, sorry. So let's do something like this. Oh, good. I can't even highlight this. Okay. So wherever we have here, whatever we have here, so let's see if this will work for, let's see how this will work for us. What's going on? What's going on with PyCharm? Guys, I'm having issues here. I don't know what is going on.
It's like you're not used with PyCharm.
Yes, I'm not really conversant with this particular. I don't know what's going on with this.
Hello. Must the
Yes, sir.
The for function, I mean the for loop, must it be under that if? Should it come back like the tab? Should it move back a little?
Okay. What's going on?
You under the function.
Okay.
It will be. I don't think it's under that function now.
Okay, we'll find a way to sort it out. Okay. I don't really understand what is going on with my code this night. Seriously, it's not supposed to be this way at all. Please, guys, let's find a way out because I'm trying to figure.
You put first there under the square. Can you make it to be true?
Did I do what?
You put first there.
Okay.
Oh,
Definitely something is wrong. Okay. Oh, goodness. I do not understand what is going on, even myself at this particular point. Please, what is really going on with my code? See, is this is
sorry,
reset.
please. Can I ask? Have you tested it on Colab before bringing it on
Colab
here?
will not work at this particular point. What we are normally use is mainly the Jupyter notebook for my own. Jupyter would directly will work for me here. I did it before coming here, so I don't know why the PyCharm was actually having issues. So for let's just look at the code, guys. Let's just look at it, even though it takes time to debug it by oneself. So what we did here, we have done the reset, and we said if it's this, draw this, okay. Okay. So I in range this, I in range this, okay. Times 20, I wanted it to move to a particular kind of, okay. Okay. Oh, good. I can see what happened. So we actually call the function inside the loop. We called our function inside the loop, which is not supposed to be true. Oh, good. Sorry. For I in this, do this. Oh, good. What is going on here? It's somebody on here with us.
I guess you wanted to do copy and paste. You went off, something like that.
Yes, the copy and paste was what the issue lied there. It disorganized the whole concept of what I wanted to do here. So I'm looking at Colab here, and looking at this particular PyCharm, we're having issues right now. So let me find a way out to navigate this. So for I in range,
I have a suggestion.
Okay.
I sincerely think, you see, just like you pointed out, you said debugging is a very, very significant skill we should have in programming. So I think you can leave this particular code the way it is and let us take a day to find a way to navigate it while you also do the same thing. Because right now we are running against time and you're not seeing so many things, or we are not seeing so many things clearly. So many things you would have seen if you took a deep breath, relaxed, and give it a fresh look.
Okay.
So if we keep looking at it now, there are so many errors we would have seen if we had a fresh pair of eyes. As you can see, nobody is really talking because a very good number of us are actually just trying to pick the basics, whereas those that already have idea of the whole program.
So I'm actually trying. Okay. So, but you can actually stay. We are going to debug it. We're going to find a way out here. We're definitely going to find a way out here. So what I was trying to do is just to try to let's leave this range for now. Let's comment it out. So what we're supposed to have done here, I wanted us to understand the whole concept of the false. Okay, control forward, and this particular incident control forward. So at this particular point, do you understand what we have done so far? Looking at this, forget about this for I in range this. Do you understand this particular concept? Oh, good. Okay, let's see what we see. Look at, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear.
We can hear you.
Can hear
See
you.
what happened here. Let's look at this particular concept right now. Let's start again from here. So we have done a function here to reset our screen, definitely, and total.reset screen. Yes, do you understand up to this point?
Yes.
Good. So what we did now was we defined a particular kind of parameter, which is the square, and we called a boolean function, and we now said, okay, if this particular boolean is true, if it's true, you are going to reset your screen, which is the reset in which we referenced before here. Do you understand here? We call the reset function to this particular, we called it out here. And anytime we do this, anytime we say for I in range 4, it's going to move 90 degrees, it's going to turn 90 degrees and move to the distance in which we have defined here, which is 200 here. And now we get it to what? To be true. And once we get it to be true, definitely it's going to reset the screen before the next one is run. So that's what I was trying to get. I wanted to make it a whole concept, and I ended up missing out some things at this particular point. So let's see. So this one actually, which one do you think is running now? Is it the 300, or is it the 100, or which one do you think is running now?
I think it's
Which one do you think is running now?
Left.
It should be the 300.
Okay.
200, yeah.
So this is 200 that is running now. Okay, now let's comment this out. Okay. Now you can see there's an error somewhere here. Okay. There's an error here. I don't know what's going on here right now. See, this is defined. Is what is going on here? Okay. So let's run this now and see what will happen. It's not moving. I don't know why it's not moving.
Mr. Kemini, please have you checked the if statement?
Okay.
I think the if the code is supposed to run only when reset is true.
Okay. Yes, exactly. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for that. So it's only going to run. It's only going to, okay. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you so much, Emedion. This is amazing already. So it's only going to run only if we call it to be true. Thank you so much. I think that was the mistake I made this night, and it affected the whole of my code. Okay. I think we are fast behind time. Yeah, please, does anybody has question this night again? So in the next class, we are going to debug this for ourselves. Mr. Ibrahim. Mr. Solomon.
Concept of resetting the screen.
Okay.
What are we resetting?
The concept of resetting the screen is more
Yes.
of like whenever we run our code, that particular what do you call it? The movement of the turtle, it's not supposed to leave that particular position. It's supposed to continue moving. Like another one comes in and overrides the other one, yet it doesn't move. That's the whole concept of screen reset I wanted to bring out, which I see it's not working for me here on PyCharm, because normally it's supposed to have worked on my what do you call it? I've done the project before and it's supposed to have worked on my Jupyter notebook, but because PyCharm is mainly used for projects like this.
I totally agree with you. I think the PyCharm environment or the interface is a little tricky. Even what it does on Pydroid and Jupyter, there are so many things that could be ignored. But I don't know, the sensitivity of the PyCharm interface makes so many things difficult. So navigation is also a problem. But kudos to all those who are actually exceptional at playing around it. I hope I learn it one day as well.
Okay. So we'll try to fix it up. Maybe I'll send maybe tomorrow we can actually have a makeup class. It worked on mine. Okay, maybe I'll say it worked on yours. Very good, but I don't know what's going on in my own. Please, guys, just try this code out. Try it out on your own. Try it out right now. Wherever you are, try it out. Guys, guys that are still here, Mr. Gabriel.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, people are saying it worked on. I don't know. Maybe it's my village people this night. I don't understand.
Outside way.
Mr. Francis, please, if you can work. I'm telling you because I was completely frustrated here. Please, wherever you are, if you have your system, wherever you are, please try and use the same code here and work on it. Let's see if it's going to work for you. I don't know. Mr. Ko said it worked on his. Emedon said it worked on hers. Okay. Please, let's just navigate this once and for all. I really don't want it to. Mr. Emedon, how can you share? I wish you could share your screen. Francis. Mr. Gabriel, are you there?
Sorry, sir. Ekemini.
Yes.
Please try running the same code I did right now on your screen, on your this thing, if it's working for you.
Hello, sir. Ekemini. Good evening.
Yes, Mr.
Again.
Sunday.
Please, I've been raising my hand.
Please, okay, please talk.
Like someone once asked, now I just want to know. I think the concept of the resetting of the screen. I think like if you reset back to the plain page or what, I don't know.
Yes, it will return to the plain screen on its own, like the plain screen.
So like what in the first case, if I put false,
yes,
then I think it should be able to draw and not reset.
Yes, it will not reset it. Yes, exactly.
Then you should move. If I now put true, then you should clean and do the next.
Yes, and reset the screen.
So like then the code should work then even though if somebody put false, then mean the first one should work and not reset.
Okay. So just
like I'm just thinking, I don't have my system with me now. So I'm just thinking, So I don't know.
Okay, Ms. Suko, when you ran this, what did you have? Did you see a series of repeated kind of squares?
Yes, it was repeated, but after each square, it resets the screen before drawing the next.
Yes, because you left it as true. Very good. Exactly what I wanted to do tonight, but it's not working on my own side.
I think what I did was I did not include the for loop under the function. I just brought it out fresh. Then when I did the for loop, I now put the function under the for loop. I did not put the for loop directly under the square we defined already.
Okay.
I don't know if you understand what I mean.
But that's the same thing I did and it was not working for me.
Oh.
So maybe my PyCharm has to be resetted. Nena, are you with us? Okay, some persons is working for them. This one said it is working for him. Then my own that I'm the instructor is not working for me. I don't understand. Hey, okay. Mr. Gabriel,
Yeah,
just try on your own system. Maybe you
Yeah,
can
some days
actually,
are
if you
like,
can share with us, anybody that can share, let's see how we can
hello,
actually
Mr.
make it work.
Kemini.
Yes.
Like one of our colleagues had said earlier, I think for people like me, it would be good for us to sleep over it and let's see if we can come up with something else by tomorrow
yes.
or some other time. It may not really be tomorrow. I mean, for me, I
We
think
are
that would be good
gradually
because for us,
getting
I
saturated.
already stressed out. The more we stay here, the less focus we are on tackling the issue. Maybe by the time we go to sleep and wake up,
Exactly.
we may have
Okay.
some
The
other
problem
ideas
is
on.
actually not. The problem is actually not with this code right now. I think some persons have made it work for them. Okay, Medion, I can see your code. Okay. And you can. The class is over. I'm trying to debug it over here myself. You can actually, if you want to stay, you can actually stay. I want us to find a way to debug it by ourselves. It's not supposed to be this way for my screen. I don't know why it's like that. Seriously. Okay. Exactly what I did here. If reset is equals to true, reset it. It worked. Okay. Okay.
Let me see, Kevin, if you look down on Emergence code, both parameters are set to true.
Okay.
The last two lines of codes, yeah.
Okay, so we are supposed to have added the else statement here. Okay, all right. So, Emedion, when you added false, did it run for you?
Okay, let me try it out.
Hey, try it out and let's see what it happened with you. Mr. Gabriel. Any other person wants to try it out, please just try it out. I need to know. The meeting has officially ended. Mr. Mark, you can take the exit, but I just want us to find a way out for this. There's no issues. You can actually go.
Don't worry, I'll be here. I want to see the ending of this one today.
Okay, nope, it didn't reset the screen.
Okay. Okay, great. I think the issue we have now is trying to navigate through this. Okay. All right, so we'll come up with something. Let me try and debug it over here. Maybe in the next, maybe I might give an impromptu class tomorrow for us to clarify the whole concept for ourselves. Okay. Okay.
Okay, all right, Mr. Kemini. Okay, thanks. Good night.
Okay, I think Mr. Sunday is typing.
I don't know what happened. I'm unable to send anything. I just want to press OK. Thank you. Good night.
Okay, all right. All right, thank you very much. Mr. Gabriel, have you been able to try something out on your system? Are you there?
Sorry, I'm still working on it. I'm trying to figure something out.
Okay, let's try and figure things out because I don't know what's wrong with my PyCharm. I don't really understand why it's behaving that way. Seriously, I don't really understand it. I did this, it turned right, did this. Okay.